I hope the time is not far off, when I shall be able to unite all the wise and educated men of all the countries, and establish a uniform regime based on the principles of Quran, which alone are true, and which alone can lead men to happiness. I am not a Muslim in the usual sense, though I hope I am a Muslim as one surrendered to God, but I believe that embedded in the Quran, and other expressions of the Islamic vision, are vast stores of divine truth, from which I and other Occidentals have still much to learn, and Islam is certainly a strong contender for the supplying of the basic framework of the one religion of the future. The extinction of race consciousness as between Muslims is one of the outstanding achievements of Islam, and in the contemporary world, there is, as it happens, a crying need for the propagation of this Islamic virtue. The doctrine of brotherhood of Islam extends to all human beings, no matter what color, race or creed. Islam is the only religion which has been able to realize this doctrine in practice. Muslims wherever on the world they are will recognize each other as brothers. How, for instance, can any other appeal stand against that of the Muslim who in approaching the pagan, says to him, however obscure or degraded he may be, embraced the faith, and you are at once equal and a brother. Islam knows no color line. Everything made so much sense. This is the beauty of the Quran, it asks you to reflect and reason. When I read the Quran further, it talked about prayer, kindness and charity. I was not a Muslim yet, but I felt the only answer for me was the Quran, and God had sent it to me.
Cat Stephen formally converted to Islamic religion on 23rd of December, 1977. Taking the name Yusuf Islam, in 1978.
The Muslim community is much more aware of its religion and the use that religion plays within its community. Sense of justice is one of the most wonderful ideals of Islam, because, as I read in the Quran, I find those dynamic principles of life, not mystic, but practical ethics for the daily conduct of life suited to the whole world. No other society has such a record of success in uniting in an equality of status, of opportunity and endeavor, so many and so varied races of mankind. The great Muslim communities of Africa, India and Indonesia, perhaps also the small community in Japan, show that Islam has still the power to reconcile apparently irreconcilable elements of race and tradition. If ever the opposition of the great societies of the East and West is to be replaced by cooperation, the mediation of Islam